All right. Disclaimer, I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. And I wish that I was more techie as far as all this social media stuff goes. So I have several people I'm recording this for. Ooh, blurry. I have several people I'm recording this for. So hi, good morning. Sorry you couldn't make it. I know it's you're on the West Coast, and some of you guys had to work today, so you asked to make sure I was recording it, and I am. It will obviously, yes, be recorded and then saved on my Facebook page, and then posted on YouTube. So there you go. Let's see. I hope I don't have 10,000 screens open. I am doing better about not having a bunch of tabs open. So, because evidently it's not good, it's not healthy for your system to do that. So, let's see, go into my sample workspace. Okay. Okay, so let me go back over here. Go full screen. How do we do that? I have to hit escape and stop share. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about what is automation. I really couldn't believe how many people know me and know what I do, what I've done. Y'all kind of know what I do, but I mean, I'm in real estate. Okay, so yeah. I was a COO for 2 companies for many years. And I think, let's see, 6 years they've been in business, and I was full-time for 5 years. So, or for the last 5 years. We had a rule in the company: anything that you have to do more than one time, get with Karen, she'll automate that for you. Whether it was sending a follow-up text, whether it was sending a follow-up email, creating contracts. That's probably one of my proudest moments, was when we had contractors coming in to work on properties, and we had to get a binding agreement with them, a contract that said, this is how much you're going to get paid, this is what you're going to do for us, this is what we expect, this is when you're going to get paid, this is your scope of work, this is who's going to be paying for what. And it was daunting. It was so daunting, in fact, that we would cut corners and just say, well, just get started and we'll go by the honor system, on a handshake. And that worked for the most part, but sometimes we didn't get the results that we desired. And there's all kinds of liability issues and such. I mean, if somebody falls off your roof and you get sued and you don't have a contract with them that says that you're not responsible for their, what was it one time somebody was talking about looking in a rehab, and someone was up on a ladder, like on the top of a ladder, doing something crazy. It was like stupid. But anyway, there's liability issues. So that you have to protect yourself. So I created it so that we basically had them fill out a web form after submitting their bid. Then we would go in and put our pertinent dates and look over everything and approve of everything, and then add anything that we needed to add. And we pushed a button and it created 8 documents like that. It created the contract, it created the scope of work, it created the payment schedule, it created the checklist, it created the, oh my gosh, it was 8 different documents. I don't remember what all it was. But anyway, so that was a really proud moment for me. Another one was when we did leases. So we would have people, he has 70 rental properties, 70 or 80 rental properties, it's crazy. And we self-managed. So we would have people fill out applications to apply for a property. And when they were approved, we would send them a web form. And they would fill out the web form with all their information. And then I would get it, I would receive it, and then I would put in the date that their lease was starting, and then how much they were going to be paying for rent, how much their deposit was, any special provisions, like literally fill in the form, like finish filling out the form, because we would have them give certain information and then we would fill in other information. And then we push a button and it would create a lease, a 9-page lease, done for you, like instantly. And then we push another button and send it automatically. So I've been having a lot of conversations lately with people about transaction coordination. And that's something that I do, but I don't do that in the MLS. And that seems to be right now what I'm struggling with, what I'm trying to figure out, because I have several people interested in that. But as never having been a realtor, and never filled out a TREC. I've tried to fill out a TREC contract before. I have had to sign a TREC contract before. It's different. We have like 2 or 3 page simple contracts for purchase and sale agreements in wholesaling. That just says, hey, we're buying for cash. That's it. So anyway, we're looking into that. Super excited about that. Working with the realtor up in the DFW area that needs, offers transaction coordination, and she's training other people. So I'm still trying to wrap my head around how I can automate that to work with their system. Let me turn my ringer off. So anyway, I'm super excited about what we're doing. Every time I talk to a client that's working the system, they get super excited because it's like, let's see, my thought this morning was, well, I've had several thoughts lately. Like, for example, if you get overwhelmed, like, oh, I'm so busy, haven't had time to do that. I'm pulled in way too many different directions. I've got way too many irons in the fire. I'm all over the place, but I'm really trying to get this one deal. Well, the perfect thing about the system, about the Simple AF system, is that it helps you to focus and know where you're at. It helps you to follow up and know which ones to follow up with. We have what we call views, and the specific view that you look at are the ones that you're going to follow up with that day. If you're not following Coach Michael Burt, please follow him. He's amazing, and he's a life coach, I would say, more than a business coach, because if you run your life right, then you're going to run your business right. So you put the most important things first. First things first: family, health, God. Come on, guys, and then your mind. So if you have to have that whole person concept, and you have to, reinvigorate all of those. I had to turn my music off because I got in trouble for Facebook Living the other day with my team, and I had music playing in the background. It was like 28 seconds, it said. So I have to have my music off today. But someone very close to me suggested that I have upbeat music playing whenever I'm working, and that's what I do. But I turned it off for you guys today. So I'm going to show you a few examples of what automation is. I was just on the phone with someone this morning she said, I guess I'm not understanding what you're saying. So let's see, if we go into the offers app, probably should have restarted my computer this morning. Okay, so if we are in our offers app, which is the important stuff where you want to get that contract out, you want to get that offer made. I'm not going to go through all this because all this is on my YouTube videos. If you want to see more, just let me know and I will send it over to you. But one of the cool things is that we can get our MAO. On this one, we have the asking price is $10,000. We don't have the ARV yet. So let's go put that in. And if we determine the house is worth $200,000, and we're going to say, oh, that didn't work. Well, let me get over here to find one that's already got the ARV in there. All right, so this one, the ARV is 80,000. They're asking 40. Remember, these are sample leads. These are not actual leads. Let's see, we're going to say this is a 60% area, meaning it's a slower market. Maybe the houses don't sell as fast, maybe there aren't as many listings, maybe they're high days on market. We try to offer 60%, if not 50. But let's say this one's 60%, and it automatically is going to calculate for you where you should be. You got to enter your repairs. I have not even looked at this. This is just a sample. So now we're at, our price is 33 to 38,000. That's our range, because I have it set up a certain way for myself. For demonstration purposes. So the ARV is 80. They're asking 40. It's in a 60% area. So we need to be between 33 and 38. They're asking 40, so this is close. So I would definitely mark this as a hot deal. And that way acquisitions would know, hey, this is a hot deal. We need to jump on this one as soon as possible. So then if we're all ready, then we would just come down here and let's say we're going to offer 33,000. I don't think it's going to let me copy that. So. All right, put in $33,000 and we're going to go down here and fill in all this information. Simple automation follow-up. Let's put a blank line if you don't know which title company you're going to use that time. And we're ready to generate the contract. And it's going to pop up right there. And now we have contract. Now, what I've done is, since this is for demonstration purposes only, is I have not put a contract in here because I don't want anyone to go in and say, hey, she gave me a contract. That's another thing I want to talk about this morning is a lot of people are asking for contracts. You can download those. Most wholesale groups have a files section. If you'll go look in that and search for contract, purchase and sale agreement, something like that, you'll find those. And then you need to edit them and tweak them. They're usually very general or very specific. And if you don't know what the contract says and then you offer a seller, if you offer to pay all the closing costs and then in the contract it doesn't stipulate that, then you can have some issues. So you want to make sure that whatever contract you get, that you understand what you're promising someone and that what you promise them verbally, ethically and morally, you need to do this. Whatever you're promising them verbally shows up in your contract the same way. So you wouldn't want to say, oh, I can't even think of it. I can't even think of any. Oh, earnest money. I'm going to give you $2,000 worth of earnest money, and then your contract says no earnest money. Or you tell them no earnest money, then your contract says $2,000 earnest money. So those are just things that can come up. So you need to make sure you read your contract. And we also suggest getting with a real estate attorney to read over that contract to give you any feedback as far as things that you may not understand, to clarify things for you and to make sure that everything gets covered. So this sample shows this, and then let me stop my share for a second and let me find one. See, I'm not sharing. I don't want to share anybody's information. And let's see. Trying to find you a sample to show. Nope, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'll do that next time. Anyway, so you push the button and it creates the contract. It puts all that information in there for you. So that way, if you ask your assistant, your mother, your wife, your husband, your VA, your boyfriend, whoever, your child, if you say, hey, send over a contract for this much, they can literally go in, put the price in, make sure everything in that little section is filled out, push a button, there's a contract for you. I had a client the other day that said, hey, I don't have time to do this right now. I'm pulled in so many different directions. Can someone please email me that contract? So and then he wanted 2 different options. So I went in and made both contracts, sent them over via email. He was able to print them out and take them with him. Super simple. Just depends on what you want. Let's see, what else was I want to talk, because I want to be respectful of your time. I want to try to end this in about 15 minutes. She says it says I haven't started yet. sorry, guys. It says I'm here. Okay, sorry. Someone said, it says you haven't started yet. Oh, wonder if she's trying to, she's trying to Zoom with me. I'm sorry. Let's see. Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know how to get you in here. Sorry. Anyway, okay. So let's see. So we went over keeping up with everything. In the system, you have several apps and such that follows the system through the entire process, or the wholesale system. And yes, I can set it up for people that are buying and holding. I don't deal with tenants and toilets and contractors. That's all on you, but I can set that up for you very easily. And then you can deal with them because I don't want to deal with them. So we've got, let's see, I want to show something else. Like literally there are web forms that you can have your VAs fill out that will bring the leads right into your system. And those web forms are in Podio, by the way. I wanted to make sure I talk about Podio. These web forms are in Podio. I talked with someone the other day that said that she paid a developer to create web forms for her apps. And those are in Podio. So that's not something that you need to pay someone for. That should be included with your system. So I want to talk about Podio. If I go in and get a free, let me log out of this one and show you, because I forgot about this. We would suggest that people whenever people would say, oh, well, how do y'all do so many deals? Let's see, I want to start a new account. Don't have an account, sign it. They would say, how do y'all do so many deals? And we would say, I don't have time to make up an email address right now, so sorry. Anyway, so people would say, how do y'all do so many deals? And we would say, oh, we use Podio. We keep up with everything in Podio, and it makes it so cool. I'm sorry, this is glitching. I have no idea why this is glitching. And we'd say, oh yeah, we use Podio. But Podio is like basically just a few apps. And then there's an app market that you can go download from, but there's no automation. Yes, it's like spreadsheets within a system. So cool, so much cooler. But the automation is what makes the magic happen. So if you enter a new seller lead, the acquisitions gets a notification. Camera, stop glitching. But acquisitions gets a notification, hey, we have a new lead, start looking over it, while the VA or your assistant or your leads manager, whoever's handling that, or yourself, is doing the research and determining the ARV, running comps, things like that. And then once the ARV is determined, then they get a notification that, hey, this lead is ready to be, ready for you to work on the offer. Here's the ARV, here's all the information about the property, and they go in and look at it. They determine their offer amount and push a button, send it over via email, send it over with a written contract via Right Signature, or some kind of electronic signature service, whatever you use. And then that's just how you can shorten that sales cycle by getting those offers out faster. You're talking to more sellers, you're talking to more, you're getting more offers out, and the more offers you get out, the more likely you are to get an offer in. Let's see, I'm so sorry if this is glitching. I don't know. If I take it off, then I'm on this camera down here. Do not ever buy an Asus Sonic Master. What is this freaking Lenovo? Something, I can't remember what it is. It's an irritating computer. The camera is down here at the fold, so you're looking at my nose the whole time. if I turn this camera off, so I apologize. So there was a couple of topics on Facebook that I've been watching. There was one that said, hey, I've been driving for dollars. I've been, sending out letters. I've been RVMing. I've been calling people, cold calling people, and I'm just not getting any yeses. And we got to talking to her about how many, and she said she had about, I think her list was total about 2,000. She had tax delinquent. She had driving for dollars, and I can't remember what her other lists were, but she only had about 2,000 that she was working. And I remember when we scaled, we were sending out about, I think, 1,500 pieces of mail a week. We weren't RVMing at that time. We weren't text blasting. I mean, none of that. We were literally just sending out postcards, which is fine. It's just a little more expensive, and it takes a little longer to get those in. To get the motivated sellers to contact you. And so we asked her, well, hey, how many are you working on? She's working on like 2,000 total. And so you have to make sure that you contact them more than once, because they may not answer today, but they may answer tomorrow. So make sure you're calling at different times of the day. If you call at, let's say, 11 o'clock in the morning, maybe tomorrow or next week you try at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or 7 o'clock in the evening, or 6 o'clock in the evening. Saturdays, guys, work on Saturdays. That Saturdays are one of the most productive days if you have someone working, to be able to get motivated sellers to answer the phone. We've actually had one time that said, I sold to y'all because y'all called me on a Sunday afternoon and I wasn't busy. So I don't like to work on Sundays. We don't like to require anyone to work on Sundays, but hey, if you can get people at home, definitely do your follow-ups that day. I would never suggest cold calling on a Sunday, but whatever it takes. Let's see what else. I had no plan. I mean, I had a plan to teach y'all what automation is, and what I do. So I build these custom CRMs. A CRM is a customer relationship manager, customer relations manager. It's your database. What all do you need to keep up with? I work with insurance agents, obviously wholesalers that are wholesaling real estate. Wholesaling real estate is where you buy a property, or you put a property under contract. Excuse me. You put a property under contract for X amount, and then you assign your equitable interest in that contract for this other amount, and then you make the spread in between. A lot of the investors I work with are buy and hold investors. So they're trying to find deeply discounted properties, flip them, get a tenant in there, and get it refinanced to the bank so they can get their cash back out of it and then repeat. So it's called the BRR, buy, rehab, rent, refi. I think that's it. There may be one more R I'm missing. And then put your money back to work for you. So it can get very complicated. Some people are doing everything. Fix and flip, buy and hold, and wholesaling. Wholesale for cash to buy and hold. There's a lot of different aspects. There's a lot of different niche. This is going to drive me freaking nuts. I don't know why it's doing that. It doesn't do it all the time, just sometimes. Anyway, I'm about to wrap this up. I know that I haven't covered everything. Whoops. So yeah, Simple AF is, we build custom CRMs for those of you that are specifically trying to scale, wholesalers that are trying to scale their business. A lot of you, some that I've talked to said, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. Guys, don't waste time. If it's already, I hope she's watching. Hey, you know who you are. I'm not going to say your name. I don't want to, any confidentiality or anything. Was saying, I could do all this, but this is already done for me. And that's the beauty of it. I've already got it done. I understand wholesaling. I understand the concept. I understand all those things that you have to remember, transaction coordination, things like that. And I try to make things as smooth as possible. So I have, whenever I am onboarding a new client, I spend quite a few hours with them personally, learning how they already run their business. And then I turn around and automate their custom system to fit their needs. So what they say, put it on steroids. So take what you're doing now and put it on steroids. So your systems and processes combined with my systems and processes, and I will change mine. If I do something differently than you do, your way of doing it will trump mine, unless you say, oh my gosh, like that's a great idea, let's do it that way. So I say, well, this is the way it's set up. I can change that, and they can say yes or no. It's your system. I'm customizing it for you. Then the other huge difference, and some of y'all may have seen my video of how Simple AF is different. Well, the thing is I am there. So if you say, I have this idea, can it do this? I can say absolutely, or I can say, ooh, that's going to be a difficult one, and we're going to have to charge you for that. I've built custom apps. I said, one way that one of the clients was doing things was completely different. I didn't have anything that can say, yeah, we can do it like this. I had to build an app within the system, within the Podio system. My system is Podio based. So if you're already using Podio, you will already have a general feel for it. It will look similar, but it's going to be so awesome. Like literally, you can put that seller lead in, work that lead, get those comps, and get that offer out to someone within the hour. And that has always been my goal, was to be able to get people to get the offers out within an hour. So let me make it as easy as possible. Then I just lost my train of thought. Okay, so yeah, I spend hours with these clients. I talk with them, I figure out how they're doing things, and then I go spend even more hours, many hours, days, as a matter of fact, customizing it. So a lot of people will sell you a CRM that has automation and it's custom, and I love them, and we've used them before, but somebody has to continually build that system out. In other words, if you buy a car and the car runs, brand new car, but then you decide you want a new stereo, better tires, better wheels, lift kit, whatever bells and whistles you want to make it cooler, to make it more to your liking. Put in a backup camera, put in I don't know, customization. Some of y'all like boats. I don't know a whole lot about boats, but put a depth finder in, put a trolling motor in, put those cool new brake things out. Chrissy's going to kill me. I'm sorry, I don't remember what you call them. The big poles at the back of the boat that keep the boat where they're supposed to be, like some kind of giant anchors. So that's kind of what building out this Podio system is I build it out so that it's cooler, more to your liking, more to your taste, more to your needs, the things that you have to get done. Something as simple as sending the sign. So like literally whenever you get a contract back in, you can literally push one button and it's going to send a copy of the signed contract to the title company and to the seller. And to shorten that sales cycle even more, I have it go ahead and send the seller questionnaire. Now, this is where I butt heads with the title company recently. They said, oh, we're not ready for that yet. And the seller was like, well, I already have it ready. And they're like, oh, we're not ready for that yet. I'm like, take it. Because in 2 weeks, whenever you're asking for it, then they don't have it, or they're not home, or they don't, they're on vacation or whatever. Just take it and communicate. So I talked to someone, she said, I'm trying to close this deal. I can't, the phone numbers are disconnected. The sellers aren't answering my call. I have one question. I'm ready to close this deal. I'm like, how could that person, that wholesaler, that transaction coordinator not be on top of that? Like, you got to keep up, you have to keep in contact with your title company, with your seller, with your buyer. I mean, if you're buying the property, you want to close. If you're selling the property, you want to close. So stay on top of it so that you can answering those questions, addressing those issues that may come up. And that way, everything just runs smoothly. Because if somebody's not watching out for that, there can be some major issues that come up and screw up your whole deal, or piss off your seller, piss off your buyer, or irritate your title company. Yeah, you can get fired from your title company. Your title company can say, you know what, we don't want to work with you anymore. It's not worth it. You're too much trouble. That kind of thing. So you don't want, you want to build those relationships. You don't want to burn those bridges. And people's time is valuable. You're not the only one. You're not the most important person in the world. Every single person's time is important to them. People that are habitually late for appointments. I get so stressed out whenever I'm going to be just a few minutes late, and I don't like making appointments when I don't know that I can make it. So please don't make an appointment or schedule something when you're not going to be available, or you don't. I know you have the best of intentions. You're going to try to be there, but then something else comes up that was more important. That's the way you make people feel. If you have a seller waiting at a house for you that drove in from 2 hours away, drove in 2 hours to show you a property and you didn't show up, that's not acceptable. That's a good way to get a bad reputation. Now I'm getting off on a tangent, and I'm fixing to end this. But yeah, answer the phone whenever sellers call, buyers call, whatever. Answer the phone, communicate. Don't make promises you can't keep. Don't set appointments that you can't keep. Outsource that. Get you a property inspector to go look at properties for you if you don't have time. But for God's sake, do not make an appointment to go see a property or show a property to a buyer and have the buyer show up and the seller have to show your buyer your property. Big no-no. Or the tenants. Come on, guys. So anyway, that's it. It's 2 minutes after 9:30, so I'm sorry. I meant to end this at 9:30. Every Friday at 9, I will be going live. Coffee. Did you bring my coffee? Zoe, I need my coffee, hun. So I made a cup of coffee. I have this new little coffee pot to take to the lake because my big coffee pot is at the lake. A little faster. So yes, coffee with Karen do not go well without my coffee. But I've already had 2 cups, so this is cup number 3. And today's cup, I love my coffee mugs. This one says, God bless you for inspiring others with the loving way you live. I do that. I'm a loving person. I'm a giver. I hope you're watching this morning. I had someone tell me a few months ago that he's, man, Karen, you're like a fire hydrant. When you get excited about something, you start talking about something, you're like a wealth of information. We would have hour-long conversations about wholesaling and my business and his business, and he's a great client. But I realized that. I'm like, wow, I do know a lot, but I don't know what you don't know. So, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. Oh, I did want to go over that. People are like, I've been reading on Facebook and these new wholesale groups and stuff that these people are like, how come nobody wants to work with me? I just have a few questions. Can someone answer a question? Ask your question. Don't say, can someone answer a question and then leave it open-ended. Just go ahead and ask the question because somebody will be able to do it. But somebody like me, when I was running those 2 companies, I didn't have time to answer, to have a chat or whatever. But now this is what I do. I help other investors. So I'm happy to do that, but I have to limit my time on Facebook and social media and the phone because I have clients that are paying me to set up their systems. So I have to give them my time and attention. I can't do these, hey, can you answer some questions for me? Can you, whatever. But I do try to spend about an hour a day online answering, looking at, networking, answering simple questions if I can. Some of the questions you guys are asking are very basic. So please make sure you go into your Facebook groups and search the wholesaling houses, with the women wholesaling houses, whatever. Make sure you'll go over to the search bar in those groups and type in what you're needing answers to. I bet those questions have already been asked before. They've already been answered. It's like beating a dead horse. And for those of us that are actually experienced in doing deals, we don't have time to go in and tell you every single time how to get started in wholesaling. Go YouTube it. Lolita Sherrill out of Dallas has a book. I'm going to be posting that link. They have, her and Carla have a PDF on wholesaling virtually, since so many people are doing that now. And she's giving away a free book, free PDF or something. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I don't remember what it is. That talks about that, gives tips and tricks on that. There are lots of Facebook groups you can join. So you guys take advantage of that free stuff. Kent Clothier's Reverse Wholesaling was one of the first books that I read. Take Action, I think Take Action Low was Low's book, that spearheaded the company into getting started. And I learned while washing dishes. I was listening to him, doing his listening, studying, learning, and I just got it. It just made sense. And for some people, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So dig a little deeper. And but that's it. That's it for Coffee with Karen this morning. You're an inspiring woman. Ladies, y'all are inspiring women. Just make sure you're inspiring all people the right ways. So, okay, that's it. That's Coffee with Karen. Thank y'all for joining me this morning. I look forward to next week, and this will be saved on the Facebook page, and because it was recorded, and then uploaded to YouTube, and I'll be putting the links in the comments somehow. I'll be putting the links in the comments, and make sure you go check out my website, which is simpleautomationfollowup.com. We call it Simple AF because, yes, it is that simple. If I can answer any questions, please make sure you send me a private message and ask questions on the Facebook group. That's fine. I don't mind. Love to hear from y'all, and I hope I brought some value to you today. I don't say, what are you going to give me? I say, here's what I can offer you, and then I'll get paid back in return. I know I will. God blesses everyone that helps others. So y'all have a good day. Bye. How do I turn this off? End.